he won't let you get away with grinding it within more than 5 minutes of having it.
So Nick, can you pick the questions?
Yes, sir. That's my plan.
There's
So
one there already.
yeah, one has showed up, and you guys, you can put your questions in the chat, and you can ask it also. That was one, but everybody seems to be more comfortable putting it in the chat so far, so that's cool. Whatever you feel good with. If you need to follow up on your question, you can ask. Here, I'll start. Is a
Don't
Geshe-la.
play Christmas music.
Oh no, but yeah, if you could turn that down, please. That's just soothing Amelie. It's Baby Einstein, if you must know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, make it really low, please. Okay, and then I'll mute myself after I read the question. Geshe-la, is the empty world the world without seeds? If we are still enough, the 65 seeds would be still too. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a cool question. Actually, if you sit very quietly in a meditation, then your seeds are opening from, I would say, not bothering other people with useless gossip. Okay, so if you're careful not to bother other people with useless gossip, then you plant seeds for quiet when you close your eyes and try to meditate. Okay, and gossip, I forget who it was. Maybe it was the Sakyapandita Nick. No, sorry, it was Atisha. He said anytime two people get together, they will start gossiping. It doesn't matter who they are, including Atisha. So, if we can avoid that kind of just talking about useless things, then we plant seeds to have quiet in a meditation. So quiet is not the absence of sound. Quiet is seeds opening for quiet. Okay, like that. And I gotta say, that the virus situation has made me very sensitive. That I need to use my time wisely. My neighbor died. Three of my neighbors have COVID. One of them died in his house, and he laid on the floor for 10 days. They didn't find him for 10 days. Nobody knew he died. And so I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the COVID made me much more aware that I don't have much time. And so to me, one of the main ways to waste your time or to lose your lifetime is to just gossip with other people or talk about meaningless things, talk about fights you had with somebody or problems you had with somebody. It takes so much time to talk about problems you had with somebody. It's so much wasted time. And we don't have time. If the virus taught us anything, we don't have time. So the more you can avoid useless talk or talk about little troubles you have with somebody, then the more quiet will come out of the seeds. So quiet is not an absence of seeds. It is 65 seeds per second opening as quiet. Okay, and it's cool. All right.
So
Nick.
you can't slow them down and have less seeds opening.
No, You can have seeds open that feel like things are going slower. And you can also have seeds open that actually make time go slower. And that's a good skill if you're a busy person. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Here's a question from Catherine. According to Mind Only School, seeds are stored in the storehouse of consciousness. According to Upper Middle Way view, where are the seeds stored? And then she said, we know they aren't stored, but where are those seeds?
Nick, what would you say? I'm just curious. I mean,
I've thought about this a bit. So it seems that like the idea is that they're just stored in the mind stream, and which is changing every moment. So the mind, which is itself coming from seeds, and I think in this way similar to the Mind Only School's description, the mind which is itself coming from seeds also is where the seeds live And since the mind itself is coming and going every moment, or becoming new every moment, those seeds are also, I think of it like regenerating into themselves every moment. And that's one of maybe that's one of the reasons the middle way view is really helpful, because it helps us to understand that we could change all the seeds and reach nirvana, or reach enlightenment in a moment. And
Yeah, I like it. I think I think all of us, and me too, I think we tend to think I have a part in my mind where the seeds stay. Whether you say you're mind only or not, it still feels like there's a box in your mind where all the seeds stay. And in the Diamond Way teachings, there's a spot in the middle of your heart chakra. There's a small drop, it's called, where the seeds stay. So, when you're talking to monks who have studied Diamond Way, they'll say, I think so, and they'll point to their heart. And we say, I think so, I think so. So they would say that the place where your seeds are stored physically in your body is a spot at your heart, in your heart. And I think there must be a deep connection there with the idea that if you can put the prana or the chi into the Zhongmai, into the central channel, then you get some huge release, like you get some huge release of knowledge. And somehow this heart chakra breaks open, and then you see emptiness directly. And I think it's appropriate that it's located in the same place as the place where the seeds are supposed to stay, right? But the classic answer in the open teachings is what Nick said, that the seeds are kind of just exist in the flow of changing things, the flow of changing Nick and the flow of changing Nick's mind, yeah. So that's harder to think of, right? Yeah. The way it was taught to me in the monastery was, I asked my teacher, I remember it was the only time I interrupted my scripture teacher in many years. It was the only time I interrupted him. And you're not supposed to interrupt a teacher in the class. And I interrupted him, and I said, the way you're describing the mind-only school, I like it. It sounds good to me. What's wrong with the mind-only school? And he said, there's nothing wrong with the mind-only school. It's all really good. It's just this idea that there should be a separate part of your mind where your seeds stay is unnecessary. It's not really correct. It's just a helpful idea, but it's not true. So. Okay, next question, Mr. Nick.
Here's a cool question. Dear Geshe-la, you said by planting the right seeds, we can create everything, even what we cannot think of. So how can we create someone or something that will take away literally all of our bad seeds and even our ability to plant bad seeds so that we never have to suffer anymore? Not someone who will stop us from planting new bad seeds, but the one who will literally take away all our suffering. I know the story how we can ourselves reach this enlightenment, but my question is, can we create something else who will do this for us?
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a nice idea. So I had some friends from China who were visiting me, and they came to my wedding reception. And so my mom, my stepmother came. She's 95. My brother came. His son came, and I thought it would be nice. The church where we grew up, the Christian church where I grew up, is right next to the wedding reception hotel. It's about, 5 minutes away. So I said to my brother, and I said to my mother, let's go in the morning. Let's go to church, because we haven't been to church for many years, and for a long time. And it would be nice to go together. because it would be nice for the wedding if everybody was quiet and thinking about deeper things. And so we all went to the church, and I had some friends from China. I said, look, probably you never came to a church before. You want to see what it looks like? And they said, yeah, let's go see what it looks like, So just for fun and to make the day quieter, we went to the church and we sat there for an hour. And in that church, they are saying that it's possible that some other person could take away your bad seeds, right? That's one of the big ideas in the church, that somebody, if you really believe in someone, then they could take away seeds, and you wouldn't have to work so hard. You just have to trust them and ask them, and they can take away your seeds. I believe, in the Diamond Way, it is, I would say it's true in the Diamond Way, that if you really have a personal relationship with your teacher, and you really, really believe that they are someone special, that they are an enlightened being, that it is possible, I would say, that if your faith was strong enough in this person, that they could help you almost take away your negative seeds, and that's a very powerful method. So I personally, I'm not a follower of the Christian tradition in that way, but I think it could be very beautiful and very helpful. So I think in the Diamond Way, if you have this kind of belief in another person, you create the seeds that they could help you change your seeds. So I believe that is possible. And so I believe you could use your seeds to create another person who could help you remove your seeds. I believe that. I don't believe that they could do it if you didn't work hard to keep your own morality and do your own meditation and keep your own practice strong. I don't believe they could do it. There's an interesting statement in the Christian Bible. Jesus is talking to his students, and he says, there are some of you here who will see heaven before you die. There are some people standing in this room who will see, you can say Amitabha's paradise before you die. There are some of you who will see that before you die. And I believe that's possible. And I think that's the whole idea of the Diamond Way, that if you have enough intelligent understanding, because you sat in the mixed nuts classes, it's possible that another person could help you remove your bad seeds. So I'd say it is possible, but even they are coming from your seeds. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Ming, which I don't think they would say in the church. They would never say that. And I think you have to say that. So that's all. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. I think this one's just a really quick, like a yes or no, but is it 65 seeds opening and 65 seeds planting at the same time?
I like to say that, I like to say that. Does the 65 rule apply to planting seeds and also to seeds opening? I say yes. I say it does. And by the way, it's not a random number. The scriptures, I have seen the scripture that says 65. So it does say that. But there's a famous discrepancy. Nick, about when you come to the end of your life, what's the famous numerical discrepancy?
Because seeds multiply in your mind. So
yeah,
if you're spending seeds at a rate of 65 per finger snap per second, and then you're gathering seeds at the same rate, but they're multiplying in your mind, it seems that you would have some extra.
Yeah, if the seeds double every 24 hours, which a well-planted seed, meaning with good coffee meditation, it will double every 24 hours, then there's a problem. Every lifetime, you must be collecting millions or billions of new seeds. And that is true. That is the case, okay? Yeah, so even though you make 65 a second, and even though you use 65 a second, you're still getting interest on your karmic bank account. And you always end your life with more seeds than when you started.
That's like crypto interest. Yeah.
It's a pretty heavy interest. It's worse than MasterCard, slightly worse than MasterCard.
Somebody's asking that you've mentioned that there was a famous text on spiritual dance by the first Pachamama. Do we have it?
Yeah, the first time I went to Mongolia, I don't remember the year. I guess it was the early 1990s or something, and they had just become independent, and they had just become, independent country, and the libraries were open for the first time. Up until that time, it was illegal to own those books, and so I was there when the libraries were first opened. John Brady and me were there trying to get permission to catalog. And we do have permission. We are cataloging 300,000 books right now. It will take another 15, 20 years. And I was very interested in sacred dance because during my 3-year retreat, I was learning dance. And I was very interested in it. And we started to ask, you see, up until that year, it was illegal to do sacred dance. And in that year, it became free. And so I ran around Mongolia asking everyone, is there anybody who knows sacred dance? And I would like to study it. And they said, yeah, there's one guy. And he was a teenager when the monasteries were shut down. He was a teenager, and he had studied dance. And I said, oh God, I'd love to meet him. And I met him. I went to his house, and he was in a wheelchair. And I was like, oh shoot, he's like 60, 70 years old, right? It was 50 years they didn't have permission to do these things. And he was already like 70 or 80. And I said, well, could you help me? And he said, yeah, here's the book. And we studied the book together with some of my friends. We went through the book together. And then he took his wheelchair out in the outdoors, and he taught us some of the sacred dance from his wheelchair. So yeah, there is a text. Do I have it? I don't remember, but I could look for it. I'm not sure it's by the first Pachamama. I have to check, but there is a beautiful text about sacred dance. And I have to say the main emphasis of that text is called Nagyal. What's Nagyal, Nick?
Pride or
and Selnang. And Selnang. What are those two?
You gave a cool description of Salnong a couple days ago. I'm trying to remember how you said it.
Let's ask Kramer. Kramer, what is Nagyal and Selnang in the sacred dance tradition?
It's divine pride in the sense of seeing your mind as the mind of an angel, and then Selnang is seeing your body appearing physically as that of an angel.
Yeah, so the main book about sacred dance, it's not put your left foot here 3 times, put your right foot here 3 times. The main topic is when you dance, dance like an angel, like believe you are an angel, and never start dancing without believing you are the angel, and then even see yourself as the angel. And the whole book is about that. And that's a very beautiful thing. And I took ballet for some years, and it's very rare to find a ballet teacher who will teach you how to think while you dance, or how to think of yourself while you dance. Most ballet teachers you have to strengthen your thighs, You gotta get your posture right, you know, and very, very few ballet teachers will say, when you step out on the ballet floor, you are not a human being anymore. You are somebody else. And those teachers are very, very beautiful, very wonderful. Yeah. And that's the main topic of that book. Yeah. Okay. Nick, what's next?
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
As in the Kamala Shila teaching, Geshe-la, you told that when we visualize an image of good quality coming out of a seed and go onto the teacher, in fact, that image never touches the teacher. So my question is, since the mental image never touches the teacher, then how does the camera of our mind work as a recorder and a projector? What triggers the mind to record and project?
She's answering. By the way, I'm going to share a screen, Nick. Is that okay?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, here we go. I got one I want to show you guys. Where's that? Here we go. There it is. That's the new book by Venerable Utpala. Okay, that's her first book. And it's done. It's finished. And it's an ebook. And I think it's so exciting. So we had a problem. There are hundreds of ships stuck in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. There's a national emergency in the United States. They just opened Los Angeles terminal. The ship terminal was just expanded to 24 hours per day. And they still cannot, they don't have enough staff and to get all the ships unloaded. So there are many shortages in certain industries in the United States. One of them is book printing. So there's a shortage of paper. There's a shortage of the glues necessary. There's a shortage of ink and colored ink, and there's not enough to print books quickly. So we were lucky, Diamond Cutter Press, which is Venerable Jigme, and also Katie Fetchenheimer. We had a new person join, which is Rosa Van Grieken, and they worked really hard to make an ebook of Venerable Utpala's new translation. So she worked on this book for 5 years. This is her translation of the emptiness meditations. And then here's the Kamala Shila part. It has the whole Kamala Shila meditation part. And if you guys want to learn Sanskrit, oh my gosh, then get this book, okay? And, you know, it's cheap because it's an ebook and we don't have to send it to you. If we have to send this book to you in Russia or some other country, it will take $80, $100. We just send you the ebook in about 10 seconds and you can get it on the Diamond Cutter Press website. And you know, I don't know about you guys, but I always had this desire to learn Sanskrit because supposedly the Buddha's talk in Sanskrit. And this book has the Sanskrit. We found the Sanskrit. John Brady's team, Aisha mainly, found Aisha Nguyen. She found the Sanskrit. And here it is. So if you want to learn Sanskrit, and you want to learn Kamala Shila's book on how to meditate, here's the whole thing. You know, you've got the English and you've got the Tibetan and you've got the Sanskrit. So it's really, really cool. And I think it's a cool gift to give to other people. Like I sent it to my neighbors here in the big city of Rimrock. I sent the book to all my neighbors. Because they're always asking me, what do you do, you know? And some of them ask me, how do you meditate? And I sent them the book in about 30 seconds. It took me 30 seconds to send them the book. So I think if you want to learn Sanskrit, you want to learn Kamala Shila, it's so go to the Diamond Cutter Press website, just buy one, okay? And it's 500 pages and you can sit with it for the rest of your life. Now, what was the question, Nick? Grandpa was so salesman, he forgot. So Kamala Sheila, or they say, yeah, the picture comes out of your mind and never touches the teacher. So if you have a good teacher, you should pat yourself on the back, because actually it's not a good teacher. It's just a plain old neutral teacher. And yeah, the ebook is the complete version. Somebody asked me. It's more than the complete version. It's all of her translation. It's all of Kamala Sheila's original book on how to meditate. It's all of Pabonka Rinpoche's commentary on Kamala Sheila. It's all of Trijang Rinpoche's commentary on Pabonka Rinpoche. It's all of the meditation posters. So 5, and the Nagarjuna's book on how to meditate. So it's 6 different pieces there. The whole thing, yeah, is an ebook. And it includes the poster, and all the pieces of the poster are explained. I'm sorry, I'm talking too fast. Sorry, Olga. Sorry, Christian. I get excited. I'll try to slow down. The seeds, so if you have a teacher that you like, yes, that teacher's coming from you. How much of the teacher is out there? Well, there's some sounds, there's some colors, that's about it. And then your mind sees open, and they go out. I like to say it's like chocolate sauce,
Mhm.
I don't know why I'm always talking about donuts and ice cream, Nick, but the parts of your teacher are like ice cream balls. And then the picture coming out of your mind, it's like chocolate sauce. And it covers the parts of your teacher. And then you see the teacher as a good teacher or a bad teacher. It's not coming from me. And by the way, when you become a teacher yourself, which all of you should become a teacher yourself. I'll teach you a joke you can tell your students, okay? If you don't like my talk today, never forget it's coming from you, okay? If you do like my talk today, that part is coming from me, okay? You can teach people like that, okay? So anyway, I wouldn't say that the pictures don't touch the teacher. I wouldn't say that. They go out like chocolate sauce, and they cover the parts of the teacher. And then you see the teacher as good or bad according to your seeds. So, the husband in the kitchen is coming from how you treat other people, but so is your teacher, okay? And I had a Buddhist friend who was we did a 3-year retreat together in the same area. And she was very upset by this idea. She said, no, Geshe-la, all the books say your teacher is a Buddha. And, they're always a Buddha, and they're a Buddha from their own side. And I said, no, if they exist, they must be coming from you. Everything comes from you. It's not like teachers don't come from you, and then your kids do come from you. It's not like that. Either they all come from you or nobody comes from you. And so the 2 husbands in the kitchen proves that your teacher is coming from you. And I wouldn't exactly say that the chocolate doesn't touch the ice cream. You see what I mean? The picture coming out of your mind, chocolate sauce, it does touch the parts of the teacher. It does coat the parts of the teacher, and it makes you see the teacher the way you see the teacher. And it's all coming from you. The same as your husband in the kitchen or your wife in the kitchen is coming from you. It's all coming from you. And there's a famous question, Nick, after that, and I'll give the question to you. So how is it possible that I created these mixed nuts, these 10 mixed nuts? How is it possible that I created them if I don't know anything, I don't understand anything about what they say during all the classes? Okay, how is it possible I created these 10 great translators when I don't understand anything they're talking about. How is it possible I created them? Nick,
Well, yeah, I mean, I have to think about this all the time with the books, I guess. I guess it's because karma, one of the rules of karma is that it grows, one of the laws of karma. So if I do some nice things for somebody, then great things that I couldn't even conceive of could come back to me. It seems like one of the cool things about karma or seeds is that you can plant things that you couldn't have thought of because you understand that it gets bigger. So yeah.
hey, Nick, what's the best way to supercharge your seeds so that you can listen to a teacher who explains back to you things that you could never imagine?
Do your best to explain, profound ideas that could help people to the best of your ability. Like, as much as you understand it and you're sure you understand it.
Yeah, and
try to help other people.
And then step number 4.
And then do so and make a whole path of karma. So Shisan Pajorwa Tartu, especially rejoice or feel happy about the good things that you did to water the seeds.
Yeah, it's crucial. It's crucial if you want to make progress in this path. And also if you want to understand what the heck is Word and Utpala's book talking about, it's crucial that when you go to bed, you always think about the good things you did today. Look, we all do bad things, everybody. Grandpa Mike does a lot of bad things, thinks a lot of bad things. But when you go to bed and when you get ready to sleep, you must think about the good things you did today. You must, okay? And then those few good things we did every day, they get like 1,000% stronger. And then you can create a teacher, and you could create mixed nuts and a team of people working together with the mixed nuts, listening to the mixed nuts from many countries who understand these ideas, okay? So whether or not you understand the mixed nuts, I'd say it's coming a lot from how you go to sleep, okay? That's why I try to sleep as much as possible.
Thank you for the chocolate and ice cream example. It's going to help Aaron and I a lot, especially during
I tell Erin I really want her to focus on this image, practice it, think about it, review it again and again.
She can hear you. She's already doing that practice.
Me too. We're brother and sister in this way.
I know.
Yes. Here's a question from Anatol and Aisha. Speaking of chocolate sauce, our convention in English is to say something like, "This cheese is so creamy." Couldn't it be just as valid to say, "This cream is so cheesy"? And I think the real question is, are chi and chedrock potentially switchable? My guess is that depends on the situation, depends on the chi and chedrock.
I'd like to ask Kramer. What do you think, just off the top of your head? Have fun with it.
I mean, we just said that they're not switchable, and one of these things is right. One of those things is a quality, and one of those things is characteristic of a quality, right? So a quality of something is being creamy, and then there's the set of things that are creamy. An example of a thing that is creamy is cheese, I guess. Maybe not all cheeses are creamy, but cheese could be an example of a thing that's creamy. I don't know that it's right to, not to be difficult, but I'm not sure that it's right to say that cream is cheesy. That's
let's say the cream tastes like cheese today. That's possible, right?
Oh yeah,
or
so
it tastes like some cheese spilled in the cream, and the cream tastes cheesy today.
Yeah, right. And so this is this thing that I've struggled with as long as I've known you, why you chose to translate chi as quality. And it burned in my brain in course 13. You said, I could have translated it as set and subset, but if you understand quality and characteristic, if you understand these words in terms of quality and characteristic, then you come very close to understanding what it is to be dependently originated.
Yeah, good.
And so, yeah, I don't know, again, I don't know if they're switchable, but I've thought a lot about, I don't know if I've made progress, but I've spent a lot of hours thinking about. In fact, before I met you in person, we had a little study group in Cincinnati, Ohio. A few friends and I, Evan Osherow, Douglas Smith, Morgan Williams, characters that some of you may know from ancient times. We would sit around, we had discussion groups where we would study ACI courses, but on Sunday, I think at noon, there was this place we would gather in the park. And for an hour on Sunday, it was just Chi Jedok hour. And all we would do every Sunday was try to come up with objects. And then whatever that object was, you had to come up with Chis of that object and Jedoks of that object. You had to come up with examples, instances, things that are characteristic of that, or things that were qualities that belonged to. And and so I don't know. I'm trying to take a note from the teacher by answering the question that I would want to answer instead of the one asked. And in this case, because I don't necessarily know. I think generally no. Chi and Jedok are not generally switchable, but there are weird cases where you find it in the Dura, where, for example, quality is the idea of chi. Chi is an unchanging thing, but unchanging thing is also a chi. So you do find these weird little loops in the Dura at a certain point where quality is an unchanging thing. So it's characteristic of the quality unchanging thing. Emptiness is an unchanging thing, is an example of unchanging things. Empty space is an example of unchanging things. And quality is an example of unchanging things. But unchanging things is also an example of quality. You see, because unchanging thing is a quality and changing thing is a quality. So I don't know, that's my way, and I'm still thinking about it, and I'll probably spend my whole life thinking about it. And if I really ever understood it, then I'll spend the rest of those 7 lifetimes thinking about it also. And
Okay.
yeah, I appreciate it.
I got one for you guys. I think it comes up in Adam's text next. So there's existence, right? And then all the things under it are changing things and unchanging things, right? But is existence itself part of this does come up in Adam's text soon. Is existence itself part of a bigger category called all the stuff that exists and all the stuff that doesn't exist? And what do you call that category?
In the monastery, sometimes they call it dogma, because also the horns on a rabbit doesn't have a self-nature either.
Good. I like that answer. That's a good answer. All the stuff in the world that doesn't have a self-nature can be divided into things that exist and things that don't exist. Whoa.
Oh.
Nick, we better go on.
Cool. And that's really cool about the hour Chi Chedrock discussion. I want to, we should reinstitute that. That's awesome.
By the way, one of the ways to flip cheese and Shedrock's Anatole is words, words as a category, and then words as a subcategory. Yeah. Okay.
And words as a bank account drainer. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Amelie. Okay, Nick, you got another question? Amelie got a question?
Oh, she said hi. If everything comes from my seeds, when I see that people around me are doing things that hurt themselves and also hurt others, and I can only rely on myself to clean up the bad seeds and plant the corresponding good seeds, can I really see 100% change in the other person if the person himself never believed in cause and effect? What about the story of Buddha and Devadatta? Ooh.
Gang, you want to answer this one? And I'll say the question again. So Lord Buddha had his half brother Devadatta. When we were in Bali in the Lam Rim, we read the story of how Devadatta was trying to kill his half brother with a catapult and with an elephant. So gang, is it the case that Buddha still had some bad seeds because he could create a person who was trying to kill him? Isn't it, Sugang?
Personally, logically, Buddha is supposed to be free of all bad seeds, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that, that is on logically, but the fact that we see somebody is trying to hurt Buddha, to me, this is not the Buddha as a real Buddha, but instead this should be the emanation of the Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that because it is an emanation, so the one being hurt is not Buddha himself, but rather it could be the manifestation of the Devadatta's harmful thoughts.
Good.
I would go into that direction.
Good. One of my favorite images of all time is when Buddha is under the Bodhi tree, and these demons start to shoot arrows at him and throw spears at him, and then halfway through the air, after the spear leaves the hand of the demon, and before the tip of the spear touches Lord Buddha, they turn into flower petals. And I think that's not a story. I think there's a deep lesson behind that. I think that's the answer to this question. Okay, it's possible that other people would want to harm you, but your seeds would be so good that halfway to you, the harm would turn into some extraordinary benefit. And that's kind of cool. Like if you're in a corporate setting, like I was in a corporation for 19 years, obviously there's going to be people who try to hurt you. If you're a vice president or something, there's people who don't like you. They try to do things to mess you up. And everything they do makes you more money. It's really funny. It's really strange, everything they do to you, you make more money. It just switches, halfway. So that would be part of my answer too. The spear in the air. I call it the spear in the air. Somebody should write a book called The Spear in the Air, right? Yeah. Okay, Nick, what's Amelie's next question?
Amelie, say hi, Geshe Michael.
Hi, Amelie.
She likes Kyrie. She's watching him.
Hi, Kyrie.
There are a lot of great things happening in my life, thanks to you, Geshe-la. But my mom will have a very extensive surgery tomorrow for her cancer in Ukraine. There is a danger of war in my country of origin. People are afraid. What is the most efficient way to stop things from falling apart? I know this is a stupid question, not really, but maybe I will get it this time. To stop things from falling apart.
Yeah, that's a difficult question with the cancer. Anybody have a wisdom? Any mixed nuts? Utpala, you have anything? Anything come to your mind? If someone's about to have a cancer operation in your family, what's the way that how could we help them in our practice, or how could we make things come out more successfully in our practice?
And I think it's like a two-pronged thing of really cracking open the heart and loving every living being, every experience, just everything. And with the understanding that none of it is coming at me, it's all coming from me. So it's I don't know, it's just amping up those two ideas of love and emptiness, or lack of self nature. The cancer comes from me, and me seeing my mother with cancer comes from me, and because it comes from me, I have the power to change that. It's not real. I don't know if that's at all helpful.
I had a similar thing recently. Veronica's mom died in August. Her sister is very seriously ill 2 weeks later. And then last week, her other sister had a life-threatening operation. So 3 of the 5 members of their family had these terrible, terrible things happen to them. And I feel like we have to use it for a higher purpose. I feel like that. I feel like when 3 people die, or 3 people almost dead out of 5 in 2 months, I think we have to see the cancer operation as kind of sent as a message to us to help more people and to be more kind. So I think when things like cancer operations happen, you can get depressed. You can think, oh, my practice is not so good. I have to see this operation, or, you can get upset, or you can get depressed, or you can get sad. But I think there's this bodhisattva training that when something really bad happens, they call it second boxer state. What's that, Nick?
It's when problems arise for you, that you take them and it just gives you more kind of power or encouragement to keep going and because you understand it on a deeper level, you're progressing. So you're up for it. You're up for the challenges as they come.
Yeah, they say a good boxer doesn't show his power until he gets hurt. So I think bodhisattvas, when you see these terrible, terrible things happening around you, to me, I struggle to use them to be stronger and to use them to be a better person. Like I try to be a better bodhisattva when I see people die or people get cancer or things like that. I take it as a message that I have to try harder to help people. I take that as a message. Yeah. Nicholas.
Aaron was adding to that just by saying, if we have some, I'll abbreviate, but if we have some belief in what we can achieve, you know,
Mhm.
so our faith can help us to, you know, have that second boxer state.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
So it's 8 California time, 9 Arizona time. And thank you so much for doing this Q&A with us, Geshe Michael. It's always a really fun way to kind of wrap up the term and gives us a chance to pick your brain with all the burning questions that we have. So thank you so much for doing it. And it's 0 China time. Whoa. So that's all we have time for today. And we'll have some more classes in about 8 hours or so.
Crocodile mommy.
What'd you say?
She said, "Can you get crocodile, mommy?" Her favorite toy is a crocodile puppet. If y'all want to see the crocodile,
You a puppet?
Ooh.
You a puppet?
Right.
anyway,
You a puppet, crocodile?
thank you so much for coming, everybody. Thank you so much for your answers. Beautiful and inspiring and helpful. And
Hey
we're all-
Nick, I got one more thing.
okay.
And it's not coming up very well, but here you go. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we have a new DCI level coming up in January. We wrote a new course. It's 250 pages. And it's a whole course. It's a brand new course about how to turn problems into masterpieces, and how to, when you get a big problem like your mom is having cancer, how to turn it into something very, very beautiful. And we use this picture a lot in that course. And in this picture, okay, I don't support boxing. Boxing is a very bad thing. I don't like it. I think it's a bad thing. But this picture, this young man is fighting the most powerful man in the world. He's fighting the best boxer in the world, okay? And he knocked him down. And then the guy wouldn't get back up. And this Muhammad Ali, this boxer, he ran over to the most powerful man in the world, the most powerful boxer in the world. And he said, please, please get back up. Please, please get back up. Come on. Let's fight some more, you know, let's fight some more, you know. And I think it's one of the most famous pictures in all of sports. You know, he's begging the most powerful man in the world to get back up and keep fighting. And he wants more problems. He said, give me more problems. You know, you can't give me more problems. And that's the idea, I think, when your mom is very sick. If you're a real bodhisattva, you should pray for more problems. Because they'll make you a bodhisattva faster. Okay. Whoa. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Nap
Thank you,
time.
everyone. Thank you, Geshe-la.
Bye.
Have a good break.
Good luck, Ina. Good luck, Ina. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We're thinking about you, Ina.